Rhys Thomas gobbed into my mouth. Yes, into my actual mouth with his actual gob. And we did 8 takes. 8 Rhys Thomas gobs. 8. I might blow a few chunks now just thinking about it. I get Dan a lot. And obviously the gag with Dan is you have to say it 42 times. So I'm standing at HMV at the counter trying to buy a CD, and the bloke there's going, Dan, Dan, Dan. I have to stand there smiling. Dan! 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 Dan!
No, he's not seeing me. I'll get him later.
The weird time was shortly after it happened. It happened at festivals, you know. You'd have like 10 or 15,000 people someone would spot me and they'd just start, and it would just start and build. And I'd have to, what do you do? I mean, it's great, you know, it's great to be involved with that. So I get that a lot. I get green wing. And someone asked me yesterday, someone came up to me and said that the machine had swallowed their Barclay card. Could I do something about it? I think the last time I saw a grown man naked was when I had a shower with Ross Kemp. I was playing a tennis player and I was getting tennis coaching, and he was there playing tennis, and we happened to go into the showers at the same time. You know, and as soon as you improve a little bit, your expectation goes up, doesn't it? Now if we don't get 4th, we're all going to be moping around going, what happened? If we don't win the FA Cup or get 4th this year, we're all going to be in a strop about it. So. And then if we suddenly start regularly getting 4th, we'll be like, why can't we be 2nd and 3rd, and why can't we win it? So, you know, we like a moan at Spurs. That's what we're there for. That's that's a definition of a Spurs fan, is having a bit of a moan. I'd hope we'd get 4th, but I cannot get away from that group of 3 games we've got, Man U, Chelsea and Arsenal in a row towards the end of the season. Because I think one of those 4 teams heading for 4th is going to put a real run together. And I think you can only drop, I don't know, 4 or 5 points between now and the end of the season. And with those 3 games, you know, and our track record against the top 4, but, you know, fingers crossed. Harry is definitely the man. Well, he's, you know, it speaks for itself. The last, you know, year and a half or whatever it is since he's been a manager, you know, we were struggling under Ramos, like 2 points from 8 games. And now we're flying high, so, you know, he's obviously doing something right. If the rest of the league keep breaking the legs of all the Arsenal players every game, we could be ahead of them in the league by about this time next year. You know, each club decides to take 1 out a match. By this time next year, they'll only have 1 player left, so we should finally break the hoodoo. No, my little boy Harry is not going to be a gunner. I took him to the lane when he was 8 days old.
Did you really?
I did, yeah. 8 did not see a game, but just to have some pictures of him wrapped in a Spurs scarf, standing outside the Spurs gates. Because I know what it's like. I live near Camden, and there's a lot of Arsenal fans around there. And I know what it's like if he gets a bit of peer pressure. If he came home and said, you know, I support Arsenal, I'd have to get all Italian on his arse. I have no son anymore. You're not my son. Never come, but never darken my towels again. Keown always used to wind me up. I don't know why. In fact, I was there last time we beat Arsenal at White Hart Lane, and Keown got sent off. And I like to think I was partly responsible for that, just for shouting at him for 90 minutes and winding him up. I mean, I'm sure he's a lovely bloke, but there was something about him that just... Well, that's part of the reason you go to the football, isn't it? You know, it's like pantomime sometimes. You know, you're cheering people 1 minute and then you're booing them the next. You know, they're there. The reason they get paid 80 grand a week is so that we can all shout at them. That's their job. The kicking the football is the second part of their job. You can call me anything you like for 80 grand a week. Oh, seriously, anything you like.